Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Today's topic, fantasies. What say you, Tom?
I was just telling you how I love fantasies.
You said you were a man of fantasies. If this was Fantasy Island, I would be the little guy.
The
plane guy, yeah. Weird. Is it weird that a little person seemingly had never seen a plane before? But he was just letting the boss know that the fantasy people were coming to the island. He was he a warlock or a demon? And he would show you, and you would live your fantasy, and then decide whether your fantasy was good or whether the fantasy was purely just fantasy, and you would be better off without said fantasy. Is that how it worked?
I've never seen that show. I
It
don't
was
even know.
way before our times.
But his name was Tattoo, right?
Tattoo.
The little guy.
Yeah. But I think his real name was Hervé Velasquez?
Yeah.
Hervé Velasquez?
Because I know that because the Dice Man get a tattoo of Tattoo from Fantasy Island on your foot, and I rolled the book.
Now
he lost.
that's creative.
A
tattoo of Tattoo. Not to be confused with the girl band. There was two girl singers, Tattoo, that were not lesbians.
So I said I misspoke and I said I like dreams, and then Samantha says I thought you hated dreams, and then
she's always waiting for you to slip up.
Yeah,
everybody around here just come on, you slip up, you idiot.
And so my wife is like that. My kids.
Yeah, how's it like living a life where everybody is just looking at you and you're Captain Banana Peel?
But that's fine. That's how I like it, because then it's always a test. I'm like, I'll show you, but I never show.
Yeah, you don't.
I always
we wait for it though. Shame on us, because you keep telling us that you're going to show us, and so far, I'm just saying, no showing. So you would imagine that we would bail after a while, but we're not. I'm all in. I've never been more in. I'm more into this than I am my own family.
So I said I like dreams, then Samantha said I thought you hate dreams, and I was like, oh yeah. I misspoke. I like fantasies.
Yes.
Dreams are nonsense.
Fantasies, though.
Fantasies are what you want to happen and where you optimally want to be, or whatever. It's a fantasy.
You're a man of fantasies. You're a fantasy.
Dreams, not to steal a Mitch Hedberg joke, are like building a go-kart with your landlord.
Okay.
It's absurd. So anyway.
You could have stopped with just not saying the joke.
No, I said
I know.
Because I want people to know that I like Mitch Hedberg.
Well, if you're going to do it, you have to say it and then give it a beat and then go, Mitch Hedberg.
I like butchering it, so it's not funny. And then people are like,
and then just go, God, look it up.
I forgot why we were talking about
fantasies. We're talking about fantasies because you said you're a man of fantasies, and you said that you like all kinds of fantasies. You like sexual fantasies, which me and Sam were like, whoa! And then you said, I like Fantasy Factory. Then I'm like, he is going full Gump here in a second. It's going to be all the shrimps.
No, but it's,
So what is your latest fantasy, sir?
Oh, well, Samantha heard a little bit. My fantasy is to get a sauna now in my backyard.
Okay, well, is this to perpetuate some of your wife's Swedish heritage, and they are known to love the saunas.
Yes.
And they love a steam or a hot heat, or I don't even know what it is, really.
You already have a hot tub.
Yeah, but the sauna, it gets you like to a higher temperature. The hot tub will only go to like 104, 105. I mean, I got the propane, like it'll maybe get to 107.
Yeah.
But that
107.7, 104.1, 105.9.
But the sauna, you can get you real hot, and then that's where I guess the
Is this one of those wooden boxes?
Yeah.
And you're going to have that, and now is it going to be outside? Or is it going to be inside? Because
no, outside.
Okay, that you already cannot do this because it will become a mold factory in all of a day.
Not a wet sauna.
Well, no, I'm saying the exterior of it. If it's outside with that nice wood exterior, it's going to look like crap. You have to get it out from under the oaks.
Not out under the rain, under my porch.
Oh, okay, then it'll be fine.
It's outside, but it's under, just put it.
Now I understand. Because some people do put them in their yard out away, and then some people
He's already got a lot of junk in his yard.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is more junk.
Got raccoon house.
A sauna is just steaming your junk. Right?
Fog playground.
But I think that's the key.
Now, last week it was how cold can I get my body? This
Yeah,
week
you're
it's
going
how
to extremes.
hot can I get my body?
Because I guess, well, they both, doing the cold is cheaper, but it's hurts.
The cold.
It hurts more, and it's harder.
Well,
right?
You need some grit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but I don't have it.
Yeah, and I don't want to...
Too much of a pee.
And we've said, just to clarify for the listeners' benefit, we've said multiple times that if you got up at 6 or at 6:30 like you normally get up and just walk straight into your pool,
yes,
that we think you would have basically the setup without even having to create a setup.
Yeah. It's already there.
But you don't want to do that.
Dude, it's just too hard. I'm too much of a pee.
All right.
So you're going to have a sauna built in your backyard, probably use it for a week, and then abandon
now,
it.
where do you get... Where do you...
Just like the rest of the stuff in your
so I
backyard.
can scream, this is a mental illness.
I'm done fighting it.
And then I'm chopping it.
Do you see what I'm...
Yeah, we just encourage it
Yeah,
now, right?
do you see? I've changed. I'm done fighting it. I'm done even trying to blow holes in. I didn't even try to blow holes in the, well, why don't you just walk into your pool in the morning? That sounds pretty easy. And he's like, I can't do it. I'm a P word. He knows he's not a P word. He obviously just doesn't want to do it because it's not hard. Walk out, fall in.
Yeah.
Well, that's hard to push yourself to do that. You know?
No. It's not.
You don't push, you jump.
If you,
it's easier to do that than it is to call a contractor and waste $17,000 in a sauna.
Very true.
This
is an illness.
That's easier for me.
Okay.
Like the getting it. Well, anyway.
Because it's only it lasts 2 seconds and you get right out. You're done. It's done for the day.
Well, no,
that's what I tell my daughter with anything she hates having to do. I'm like, it's going to last what, 5 seconds?
Yeah, but have you ever jumped in extreme cold water?
I've jumped into an ice cold freezing pool before. Yes, many times. It doesn't bother me. I haven't jumped into like igloo style.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But that I think would be a different animal.
It's the sauna.
Okay.
It does the same thing.
See, don't
just
fight
the opposite.
Yeah, don't fight it. Just where are we at with the sauna?
You get in with the heat, and it's easier.
But what if you say this is too hot? I can't get in.
No. But see, the heat, like extreme heat for whatever, is not as shocking to me as the cold.
Okay.
And
I'll take your word for it. So how do we get the sauna?
I don't know. I mean, Butler's got. I got a Butler on.
He's got a sauna on the line.
God.
You can get them online or whatever.
But they're all made by.
Build one.
They're made by Coleman, right?
She's a good woodworker now.
She's like a regular Nick Offerman. She's making a hand carved canoe.
No, she made a
She's
box.
Doing a speaking tour.
Oh, how dare you.
It's honestly, I mean, it's not. It's just a box with wires.
Where's your box?
I can make a box.
Oh,
I can make a box with wires.
You can make a better box than her box if we had a box off?
I mean, I did drill a couple screws in there because
well, then I told her, claim ownership of it.
I told her she was using the wrong screw size. But anyway,
you mansplain screw size.
Building a sauna. That's you're a teak. There's a whole.
Don't
thing.
build a sauna.
No.
I'm just gonna buy one and
made by Coleman.
Now there is
Walmart sauna.
Probably. Maybe over a 90% chance that this goes awry, and I've wasted my money and life.
Okay.
And
what does it run off of, the sauna?
I think just electricity.
I thought it'd be gas powered. Everything at your house is powered by a ginormous 18 cubic ton propane tank. Everything at your house runs on propane. It's the only place I've ever seen where you flush the toilet. You have to light the pilot light before you flush the toilet. Meanwhile, you look around, it's nothing but pictures of their family naked.
Yeah.
Shout out to Thompson Gas, one of our hookups, because they actually, the gas was expensive.
Yeah.
And
well, he's tied right into the ground. He's just taking it straight from the earth.
No, that's
how much gas he's burning.
No, but like some people in neighborhoods are plumbed for natural gas. Like I just have to have a giant propane tank, which eventually I want to bury it. That's the thing. So
do you have to coat it in like a soft rubber material, like a Kong?
You build I say bury it, but you just dig a giant hole and then you line it.
So
and you put it in the hole.
You're just throwing trash on top of it.
You're just hiding it. Okay, you put a board over or something.
That'll look good.
Anyway,
That's your septic tank? No, man, that's my gas line. Get in the sauna. Beers are getting cold.
it would be hard to get the gas in because I have to dig through the concrete. Anyway, I might just do electric. Anyway,
why don't we start with fantasies? Why don't you start with comb my hair?
I don't want to.
And then work our way to sauna.
Don't fantasize about it. All that is.
That's a chore.
I'll tell you a bunch of other fantasies. So I got
they get crazier than sauna?
Oh, that's a doable one. I have like 10 million.
So what's an undoable?
That is not doable.
So many. One day I was like, I'm gonna walk to work every day.
No, you.
And then
you don't walk anywhere. You one wheel. We all know that.
No, I know, but
so you're gonna walk 7 miles to work every day?
To walk there and back. I don't think it'd make me a better person.
But what time would you have to leave?
Early. Yeah, it would never work. They drop off the boys.
How long did you think about this? And did you get Butler on this as well?
No. This is a
how
passing
medicated
thought.
were you?
How far do you have to get into the fantasy before you activate Butler? That's what I want to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to hear about all my fantasy business ideas?
I am not mocking you.
Because I have so many.
I'm not at all mocking you. I like this kind of stuff. I'm done saying no to these. Like, this is all great content.
Well, maybe the business ones we might want to listen to.
Well, the sauna is just, look,
that's
guys,
a personal thing.
The sauna is also not going to happen. It's just never going to happen.
I'm trying to convince Paul Williams to...
Paul Williams from West End Trading Company and Celery City Craft.
You know that BDM who builds tiny houses?
Yeah.
Yes.
This fantasy is pretty recent. I was like, we're going to build a Tom and Dan tiny house, and then we're going to move it from place to place and Airbnb it, and we'll leave it in Sanford for a while.
I like this better than sauna. I do.
Well, sauna's a personal...
Well, but it's just, the sauna seems so hard to do. It's never going to happen. Getting somebody to build us a trash shack on a trailer that we pull around.
That's possible.
Like, this is way more cockamamie.
We get my mom's trailer. I put a refrigerator box on it. We get a trash shack.
No, so then you build the tiny house. It's themed Tom and Dan.
Yeah, it's got pictures.
We Airbnb.
By the way, when we say theme Tom and Dan, there's a mini fridge in there, and we put some free White Claw in it. That's what we mean.
How dare you?
By the way, pictures in there.
You think this is essing on my fantasies or my business ideas? Crystal really
no, I don't. See, you're wrong.
She stomps them dead before they even get out of the house.
They don't even get to committee.
They can't even float out of the chimney.
I like these.
She swats them dead.
I want Trash Shack. Okay, Trash Shack I vote yes on.
Yeah. I haven't even contacted the BDM. I kind of
So people will be living at Celery City Craft and living at West End Trading Company for one night?
No, they're just...
Is it like a drunk driving deterrent? Is it like you got so drunk we bring the Airbnb to you?
No, it's just I was like, man, because when I went to Hollowbox, I said, this is the Key West of Central Florida. There's golf carts, there's every custom bar and brewery and stuff, and then and they have so many fests and parties and street parties. I'm like, this is set up.
It's optimum for it.
It's set up for you to go there and then spend a weekend just drinking and eating, right? And walking around. Like more than any other, I'd rather do that in Sanford than downtown Orlando.
Well, it's set up for it.
Maybe Mount Dora.
Mount Dora is pretty dope.
It's pretty dope, but it's more old people. Like Sanford sells a young.
If you want to get into a little bit of fun, Sanford is definitely more that vibe. Like you and I did Mount Dora one time with the girls. Remember we recorded? It was very boring, and then we ended up at like a Margaritaville themed bar, and it was not fun.
But it's cool.
I enjoyed my time in Mount Dora.
It was old people city.
But it's quaint, and it's more of like a family friendly.
It's like, there's a bench with a bronze statue. Take a picture with it.
You could bring your kids to Mount Dora, no problem. But like Sanfording, it's like you want to go party a little bit. You just go Sanfording. Anyway, I was like, we should get a Tom and Dan Airbnb in Sanford, or buy a house and just constantly Airbnb it or whatever. We can make deals with all the local, all our sponsors and stuff. Like, hey, go to West End, go to Hollowbox.
I like this idea.
Celery City, whatever. But here's the barrier to that idea. All the good property around there is the cat's out of the bag. So everybody, we have to get $500,000 to get a decent enough place and rehab and stuff. That's why I start going backwards to tiny house on a trailer.
Well, you got to sell your sauna to get the $500,000 to invest in the tiny house.
Yeah. Don't have that sort of equity.
I do like the tiny house idea though, because we could update it. We could take it different places.
Crystal was saying,
don't let her stomp it flat. Let it get out of the chimney.
You need, first she's like, who's going to empty the sewage and all that? Because, that's all
Valid
tanks.
questions. Valid questions.
And then,
we got a guy.
No, it's the sewage guy now.
Butler goes
Cups and sewage. That's
his locksmith truck with a big.
He shows up at like 9 a.m.
A big.
Wait, what time's dumping? Well, they checkout time's 11. Dumping's at 1 p.m.
A big
hose,
brute plastic leaf barrel. You know, you sell at a Home Depot. Just empty the doo-doo into that.
Good morning, ma'am. Travis Butler here for the tiny house. I need to empty the gray water.
He's sloshing around in his back of a truck. I'm like, just pour it in Lake Monroe.
oh my god.
Anyway, what he has to do is go to the studio first. I have to help him load the fish tank into his truck. The fish tank is what we hold all the sewage in because we don't have a receptacle big enough to dump.
Yeah. So there she was like saying that, and then she was like, how do you move it? That thing is a gigantic monstrosity. She's like, you need
I
a
asked her how much it
professional.
weighs. It weighs a lot.
And she's like, it's not an RV. It's made to be like put somewhere for a good amount of time.
We're going to need a bulldozer, and it's almost like it's like NASA. You know that big, what's the moving platform that they have for like SpaceX or whatever?
Well, it's on a trailer.
Yeah. No, but it takes we need a bulldozer. And so it's going to take from Orlando to Sanford. It's going to take us a solid 4 hours of going 15 miles an hour to get there.
So I worked backwards from there. Then I'm back to my Tom and Dan RV idea. And then I'm like, let's just get a drivable RV.
It sounds like you're bouncing in your own mind between bad ideas and you're stuck in a loop.
Yeah, that's my entire life.
Okay.
My entire life is a bad idea loop that just keeps continuously going around and around and never. And then every once in a while splinters off
into something good.
A good idea.
So are we buying an RV?
No, I'm telling you my fantasies. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Fantasies.
Look, I'm on board.
I don't know. But then I already looked into it, and they're, a decent
What about
one.
a trailer? Is there a trailer park in Sanford, in the Sanford area?
Well, it's too far for Sanford. You want something right in the middle.
Well, why don't we include like an Uber pool?
I thought about this. Golf cart rental is included into the Airbnb.
Okay.
Because
I have a rickety golf cart.
Well,
pump up the tires. We're in business.
We need third parties so that when our listeners don't kill themselves DUI, that we are sued.
They're rocketed out.
I've thought about this already. When Norm gets rocketed through the
and we're saying things like, "What are the odds that he was impaled by a vape pen?" It's like when you land, anything becomes a strange and pointy projectile.
There's lots of that, and then there's like permitting. That's why I tell Crystal, I was like, you
that's why we want it movable, though.
Yeah, so you could
we can get the hell out of Dodge if the popo's on us. We hook it up. We drive the hell out of there.
This is a Lady in the Dale scenario, 3-wheel car. You gotta watch that. By the way, just put a wig on. Anyway, that's one of my fantasies.
Okay.
So how do you get to the sauna fantasy?
Well, that's just personal fantasies. There's lists of business fantasies, personal fantasies.
Does your wife have a personal fantasy?
Never asked her.
This is a problem.
Yeah, should we?
She has to listen to all your
What's
fantasies.
yours? Do you have a personal
fantasy?
It doesn't have to be like, I'm not talking sexy.
Like
I'm saying,
you guys never dream about I constantly that we go through the fantasy of like we're gonna build a remember where my boat used to be, that pad the Jay and the real man laid next to my house, that big concrete slab.
Yeah.
Anyway, Crystal, this is part of Crystal's fantasy too. But I know this is way cockamamie, and I'm like, no, wait, this is
we're gonna beer.
I know this.
She wants to build a mini gym in there, like she take a shed. The people they take like sheds and then they put an AC in them and put drywall and they make it into like a little tiny house.
Yeah.
Like the skeleton's the shed and then you drywall, put flooring.
She wants to make like a world's gym,
definitely got to get a permit for that.
Like a fitness facility. Is that what you mean? Like
your neighbors not care? Or
like
an HOA? Or?
No HOA.
So to the side of your house, you're gonna put a little shed with an AC and make it into like a mini CrossFit.
And then she's like, we could put I keep telling her you should get a Peloton, but she resists that idea for whatever reason.
Well, everybody likes to resist that idea.
And then she's like,
it's an easy thing to hate. I'll give you that.
She's like, I want the Peloton version of the row machine, the hydro. And then I'll put the hydro in there. Then I'll put a treadmill. She liked the Peloton treadmill for whatever reason.
The tread's cool.
And then
a lot of people don't like cycling. It's just not their thing.
And then you start doing the math, and you're talking about $20,000.
Well, the tread's like $6,000.
And you know how mad you're gonna be after like that thing sits and there's dust inside. And no one uses it for months. And then
it would be more wise to get the row machine and just sit it in your living room and see if you use it, and then go to your shed.
It's like videotaping yourself burning $20,000 and having to watch it every day. You go outside your house.
Don't say that.
But that's how it is. Yeah.
Or maybe we're being negative. Or maybe the shed with the hydro inside of it would be the motivator needed. Because of, you'd look at it and you'd be like, well, it's a $7,000 row machine with an $18,000 shed with drywall and air. I better use.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to throw up on the desk.
I was going to, but I pulled it back.
Oh my God!
I had to pull it back.
You old man talk burp.
You dad talk burp.
Yeah, I'm shocked because that was truly
that was natural.
It was truly surprising. It
scared the hell out of you. I saw it in your eyes.
Oh, I was terrified. I've never been. I thought the plane was going down. I'm not even on a plane.
Oh man!
Oh my God. Make that a category for the awards. The most old man thing.
No, I think I'm the clear winner.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure there's something.
My heart is racing right now. I was like, well, that's how he goes. He's just gonna vomit and die. But yeah, I think it could be a motivator for her. So maybe you're looking at it the wrong way. Let's try
it won't be.
Let's try to.
You know what?
It is for me because I don't like the price of my Peloton, and I use it as a way. I look at it and I go, and I remember when I did the math on how many rides it would take me to pay it back. I mean, I'm just saying it works a little bit for me.
Everything works for someone, but not for everybody. And like I can literally, I mean, I wish I could bet on the outcome of this. Like I'd bet on like an insane amount of money, the best edge I've ever seen.
Yeah. You'd have to give a timestamp.
Is that the number one thing people build out that people go, oh no?
Oh, yeah,
Jim.
The treadmills in their houses and all that stuff.
Home gyms.
Yes.
Man caves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Backyard bar.
Biggest, Tiki bar.
Yeah.
Tiki. Are you sitting there by yourself, Tony?
His Tiki bar looks great.
Hold on. You bring up a good topic.
Who's hanging out at the Tiki bar?
Okay,
Tony?
yeah, let's talk about this because he
wants to get into the waterfall lifestyle, but with Tiki bar.
Our Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Palmiotti. It seems like he wants a sprinkling of the waterfall lifestyle freedom.
Yes.
But you don't want to run the risk of, there's a virus out there.
Yeah.
Well,
he's waiting until everyone's vaccinated.
Yeah.
But he's building it out now.
Yeah.
I read something that
he'll only eat it if you're vaccinated.
At the end of the summer, he may run up his Tiki bars to get that rolling. So speaking of the waterfall lifestyle, that's another fantasy of mine, is that I get the sauna in the backyard.
Yeah, but you're playing a dangerous game because you're getting propositioned.
I get a waterfall, but it doesn't
You need to keep some distance or you're going to end up ruining your own fantasy because you're getting propositioned by people that live that.
That's fine, but that's part of it.
No, because what's going to happen is your wife's going to be like, okay, it was funny before. Absolutely not. And kill the fantasy. The idea is to string it along. So you need to put some distance there so you don't get a hard no. Because if you get a hard no, you got to start from square one again.
No, it doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be the lighthearted and fun attitude.
That's what I say about this show.
Of inviting your friends over, and then the hot tub's running, the pool's good, the waterfall's running.
It's very difficult for me to get an erection if I can hear Mario Kart on inside.
No.
Because the kids are in there. They're
running
around. It's very difficult for me to perform if I hear Big City Greens from Disney Plus in there.
In this, the kids are not. Maybe they're
down at the bird house. They're down field trip watching the birds.
Partly, probably why you get into this lifestyle as you get older, or your kids are older. They're out of the house already, or whatever.
Okay.
So.
So you got a ways to go before you get this.
Yeah. But I'll be on HGH. A lot of testosterone.
I hope you get the arms. I want you to have.
That's part of it.
You're getting it too because your wife put a picture of your arms look good. but your wife put a picture of your arms up on social media, and it said like delicious cake and strong arms or something. It was very poetic and horny. And I saw it. And I go, oh yeah, she wants the waterfall lifestyle. But I did chuckle because I looked at your arms, and you are the type of man that if you get on the juice when you're riding that sweet Dr. Lightning, when they're shooting you with the HGH and everything, you're gonna get the arms where every inch of your arm is covered in a tiny gummy worm under. Those guys that get gummy worm arms, where you got every inch.
It's called the Stallone.
Oh, it's so gross, and you look like you have
it's all Sylvester arms.
You have 2 Sylvester arms, or you have 2 Vayners.
Oh my God!
Penis arms. My God!
Why are your veins turned into gummy worms?
If you cut your fingers off, it'd look like 2 Fairvilla master models.
You're right, because when you're younger, your veins are straight.
Yeah, you got good veins now, but
yeah, when the older they get all wrinkly.
They get
gummy.
Yeah. You get gummy veins.
So now you invite your friends over, and
it's just a looking thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, they could do. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? But you don't do anything.
Like Keep it up.
Yeah. But someone's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna take my bikini off," and everybody's fine with it.
That said that.
Yeah. And then you're like, "All right, we're having a good time."
I just don't think that you would be okay with that. If I was over at your house and I said, "Hey guys, I think I'm just gonna slip my chubbies off," I think you'd say, "If you do that, I swear to God, I will beat your ass in front of my sons."
Don't do it in front of the sons.
I just feel like there's a lot of talk here.
I'm not a jealous guy.
What if only dongs came out?
That's like a party too.
I'm with him on that too. That is a party. Different kind of party.
Equal opportunity party.
Yeah, you have to be.
You
have to be. In this
you gotta be okay with the dongs.
You have to.
With everything else.
I'm fine with that.
In this day and age, is it even remotely fair to say no dongs? You can't do that.
It's just something more interesting than the standard.
Yeah.
Like that's why I never liked hey, let's couples night. Let's play
board
Jenga,
games.
board games.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want something more adult.
Can we sit around naked and just look at each other's genitals?
What if it's a strip Jenga?
Yeah.
How do you
even
do that? You take off what? You take off your pants because the wooden tower fell on your head?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's one other fantasy. Then I got a bunch of other, random.
Do they mostly involve swinging? Or?
No. There are other, here and there. I was like, you know what we should do? We should. Because we can record this from anywhere, we should get some sort of. This kind of ties into the Tom and Dan RV. Remember, I said it's all a circle.
Yeah. I like this one though, and this is my fantasy.
We put I know.
But you've taken this away from me. You hate go-to shows. You don't want to do them. I want a mobile broadcasting.
It's not a go-to show if the whole show is always a go-to show.
I know.
We're just always traveling.
I want that. I want the wives to drive, and the show's in the back.
Yeah.
We're talking and doing the show.
We need to hire. The company needs to hire everybody's spouse so that they can go along with it, because obviously they have jobs.
In a separate vehicle.
Yeah. We're all in our own RVs.
Yeah.
And then
we're in separate RVs?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's the show studio RV.
Okay.
And then everybody else has their RVs. Yeah. Because we need to travel.
It's a caravan.
Okay.
It's a caravan.
It's kind of like...
And we go village to village and we steal their guns and their food.
It's like a circus or some sort of gypsies, you know, like that kind of feel.
Well, we'll decide what we're going to do when we get to the new city or village. So we go to small towns and we decide whether or not we want to take a straight route and be legit, or whether we want to maybe a little deceitful and scam the town out of a bunch of money.
Yes, yeah. And then we can have little meetups from town to town.
Yeah.
Now,
and then eventually it'll get a little out of hand and we'll have to have a shootout.
Oh. So I was like, we should do that.
We'll do our own version of road rules in our RVs.
And then
some challenges on the way.
Of course, we got the Tom and Dan Beach House, which is just a version of the RV, but again, too expensive.
Yeah, what happened to the beach house?
It'll be like the Jersey Shore Beach House.
Okay, now there is okay, hold on. I have my mom's small, single wide.
Oh, we all have to live in there.
Little beach area. We could turn that into the Tom and Dan beach rental and just start making money off of it. It ain't making money now.
Yeah.
I am a reasonably logical person, and it's just sitting, and if people actually use it will last longer.
If you Airbnb that thing, you could make mad money. Because
I'm not allowed based on the bylaws of that particular place, but I could lie.
No, they'll find out. But when there's someone new person, new medium.
Even when I stayed there, I was getting the looks.
I already figured that out. You have to have a costume.
Oh, so everybody looks the same.
So everybody looks the same. So far, I'm trying to decide between Austin Powers and Paddington Bear.
Well, me and Samantha already determined that 90% of our audience is a fatso with a beard.
That was off-air content.
Yeah, when did you find that out? And I thought I told you to never share our scientific.
He wants to start his own subgroup.
What, fatos with beards?
Yeah, which Samantha did bring up.
Wait, you're not a fatso and you don't have a beard. You can't be in the group.
Yeah, but that weirdo thing.
The video of him singing I Will Survive.
That's what I was a fatso with the beard. Yeah. And the beard was god-awful.
Man, I tried to tell you.
Anyway.
Looks like a rapist.
I like it.
It's so disgusting.
I like it.
It's actually disgusting.
You look like it's cringe. You look like a sand person. Like your face.
It is, I mean... Please don't allow me to ever do that again.
I'll try not to, but you don't listen to me.
You're going to want to grow a beard because once again, you'll get a, quote, fantasy up your butt.
Anytime you think about it, I'm going to show you that video.
Yeah, please.
I want to get rid of my beard.
Disgusting.
But when I shave my beard, I look weird.
Yeah. You look good with a beard.
No, but even when
I had wasn't even a beard. That was disgusting.
I look better with a beard when I'm heavier. Now I've lost weight and I'm tightening up again. I shave. I still look weird because I'm so used to seeing myself with a beard.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What?
Norm in the chat said, I made an Angel Fire website as a kid called Fat Pride Worldwide.
All right.
I can't say that now. It's a whole different thing now. Fat Pride Worldwide. Do you still own the URL? I'll scoop that up from you if you don't want it anymore. So I like these fantasies. But I do the Tom and Dan rentable fantasy is one of my favorites. And if you want to get the ball started on that,
believe me, I've gone through every different possibility, and it just doesn't work out because, again, you need $500,000 to buy a good enough property and then put the money into it and stuff. It's like anywhere near the beach it's insane sky high. Man, you start looking back at how cheap stuff was after the recession, and I remember Crystal was looking, and she fantasizes about stuff like this all the time. But there was stuff.
When you go back and think about what you could have done.
Yeah,
don't do that.
There's stuff in Cocoa Beach for $210,000 that was on the canal that leads out to, or something like the walking distance from the beach. $210,000. There's nothing. There's not even a condo for $210,000 in Central Florida.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's any sort of decent thing. Yeah. I mean, there are some but it's just things have skyrocketed so insane that you start looking back at that. So things become out of the likelihood of even being able to pull off, because then you're like, all right, well, I'm going to buy a $500,000 beach house, and then now you're like, ugh,
and then you're gonna have to do stuff to it to even make it what you want it to be. The amount of work you have to put into it, and then a property management company, and then it goes all the questions Crystal asked about upkeep, and
you don't need the property management company. That's you could do all that stuff.
Well, but you're saying if you don't want the work,
you need cleaning person, which is fine. But then it's like, how much do you rent it to be able to make this worthwhile? Right. And you start doing the math. You're like, okay, I'm doing all this for what? So I can go stay at a beach house every once in a while, use it, and then it may be a viable moneymaker, but it probably won't pay for itself for, the 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
You start looking at all this, like, man, it's a lot of work for what? Because I started looking at that too, when I was younger, it didn't matter about the amount of work it took, because I had endless amounts of energy and time.
You found the fantasy killer. And your phrase that that is it.
Yeah.
The amount of work for what?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
If you start writing your fantasies down, that's when you lose your fantasies.
Yeah, because then then the reality comes in. That's what kills fantasy. It's a goddamn reality.
I am a visual type of it activates my memory. And if you really want me to get into some, when I'm writing things down, writing a song, or if I have a big decision, pros and cons. That's how if I write things down, then you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's probably not going to be something I'll do this year.
So because you start now, if it brings you some sort of happiness, then that is worth it because it's not monetary. It's like, all right, well, this will bring me X amount of happiness, then this makes it worth it. Who cares about the money? But if it's like, well, there's a lot of work, and then you start doing the math, and you're like, if I just took the same amount of money and put it into the stock market or something, it'll appreciate to the same amount of this thing. And then you're like, well, that's no work. And then this is like 20 years of a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, how much joy is it going to bring me?
I always admired that you and Crystal had that in-game goal of the sailboat. You know, we'd make a lot of jokes around here, but
that seemed more
reasonable.
But if I'm
just being honest, I always liked the fact that you guys, it's not funny for me to like the fact that you guys had a sailboat dream. The funny thing is to tear it apart and talk about you living on there with a fly-snapping dog and being miserable as your son burnt. But anyway, I always thought it was cool that you did think of something that you wanted to do in later years. Like you're like, yep, kids are gone. Me and Crystal hopefully still together and alive, and we want to do X. Do you have something like that, Sam? Because unfortunately, one of the reasons why this is maybe something that I admire with you, Tom, I don't have one of those.
We did talk about doing the whole RV thing and traveling around the country. But then, I don't know, the more and more we started thinking about it, we're like, driving's boring.
Yeah.
There is the driving aspect that, again,
you have to make a lot of stops to make it interesting.
Yeah, but Tom likes conversation and podcasts. So the idea of you driving around the United States in an RV, pleasing or not pleasing to you?
Well, I have a similar fantasy.
Because it's not your dream, but I do know you want to travel, and
I've got a fantasy that revolves around traveling.
Mine's the tiny tent on the top of my SUV. Remember that one? Yeah. I killed that one pretty easily, knowing that the wear and tear of the tent, plus the likelihood of being able to go places with a 5-year-old is zero. Not going to be able to do that in a couple of years.
Sometimes you just got to do it.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't make sense, because if not, you could talk yourself out of anything. Because everything is work, and then you can start finding you start chopping down certain things about it, and then you reach the end of your life and you're like, well, I've nitpicked all my fantasies because they didn't seem logical, and now I got nothing. Like, what good is that?
No, you're right. Brock BDM says they've been toying around with the idea of a teardrop pull behind recently, about $15,000. Yeah, that sounds about
Yeah.
Right. I like those little teardrop trailers. They're really neat looking.
The problem with all the RVs is you got to be good. You got to be okay with RV sharing it or having it, because the reality
or
is,
use the hell out of it or live out of it.
You're only going to use it at the very most 12 times a year, and that's a lot, right? Once a month.
That is a lot.
I would say more likely 4 times a year, and then it just sits there, and you're paying for a storage unit or just sitting rotting. Like RV share, like, or do something with it. It's like the house, everybody I'm sure is Airbnb-ing their like snowbird property or whatever it is, because of why let it sit there for months unoccupied, not making you money. But my RV dream is to buy a boat I can sleep in. This is to be a motorboat, because I learned the sailboat thing. You got to learn how to sail, and you got to learn how to fix all your sailboat, and like a lot of stuff.
Boat you can live in is super cool,
but it's more expensive because you have the gas. But then do the great loop.
But the coolest thing about boat that you can live in is that if you do get down on your luck, I'm not making a joke here. It seems like this is a thing where guys that have like houseboats or big boats that you can live on will eventually, if they're not wealthy, will run out of money somewhere, and then they'll just live there for the rest of their lives, and that's actually okay with me.
Yeah, the backup plan.
Yeah, like I love the living on a boat, and then when's the last time you took this out? And he's like, oh no, it's been here for the last 7 years. I love that for some reason. Neat.
I'm constantly wanting to do cockamamie ideas and fantasies, but as I get older, I'm realizing like the reality, and I start talking about, and I wonder if a lot of people are like, that's what slows the dreamer down.
Do you worry that
Oh, yeah. And sometimes I get real pent up where it makes me want to go do something irrational.
It makes me angry, yes.
Because I'm like, all I'm doing is talking myself out of all these things that I would do. Now, a lot of it is me fighting the orb, because the orb is a lot of compulsion and a lot of doing things unplanned.
Okay, yeah.
And what would get me in a lot of trouble. So as I get older, I'm fighting that compulsion with logic.
But sometimes you just want to lean into the compulsion.
I know.
Right? And let it take you.
It's like...
This all makes sense to me, by the way. This is maybe one of the best conversations we've had about our dreams and our fantasies.
I had a mini freak out near my birthday where I wanted to buy both the boys one-wheel pints and then myself a brand new one-wheel.
Yes.
And, which is expensive. It'd be like $4,000.
I do this sometimes.
$5,000.
Haven't done it in a minute. Where are you drinking?
No, a lot of these come when I'm high. You know,
I wish mine when I'm high, I'm a good dude. Mine's usually the booze. I get the old computer out and it's Amazon time.
Well, this is all just me being quiet, sitting in my living room thinking.
No, I'm not quiet about it.
And then I was like, I'm gonna get them one wheels, and then they're gonna we'll go places, and then we'll go to trails, and they'll follow me, and then I'll get.
Did you get as far as putting them into the cart?
No. I got as far as yelling at Crystal that I'm going to do this. I'm tired of not living my dreams. And
that's good.
I did that with Andrea.
Tom Van
I'm going to buy a puppy.
Yeah, and then I realized there's a lot of good points she's bringing up about their age and stuff, and
I hate good points.
A lot of other cockamamie things she's brought up that I've done that is like this that never works out, and then it's reality killing my dreams.
Yeah,
and then after enough time, and she knows this, I start realizing it too, and I start realizing that you're right. This is.
Do you ever tell her that?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
I just want to make sure.
She knows.
Yeah. Does she though? Every once in a while, if you just want to keep her on her toes, and this is just for you, go into her office and on her computer, just type in the One Wheel website and then go to the pint page and leave it up like you were using her computer to look at it. It'll just keep her edgy, ramp up her anxiety a little bit.
I'm my own worst enemy with all these because she's let me do a bunch of them. It's like, the phrase, if you give the person enough rope, they'll hang themselves with it.
Or that.
So something like that.
Give them an inch and they'll take them out.
It's something about rope and hanging yourself.
Okay.
All right, don't say that.
But she lets me do some of these minor ones.
She's proving a point.
And
see, I told you so.
And then I do it. And for instance, one of them was, remember the time I got Tommy, the Razor electric powered 4-wheeler?
Oh, I love that thing.
And he was 2.5 years old, and she said he's too young for it. I threw a kind of a fit. As much as you can imagine me throwing a fit.
Which actually, I bet if we saw it, I've never witnessed one, but I bet if we saw it, we'd be shocked.
No, you wouldn't, because it's not even a fit. I'd be like, I'm gonna buy it.
And then that's like a 10. That's like a 10.
Level 10,
yeah.
It's me going against what she's, I'm like, I don't think you're right. I was like, I started riding 4-wheelers when I was in diapers. Tommy's out of diapers already. He's fine.
Yeah, but what if you were in diapers till you were 8?
Good point.
I don't know how old I was.
No offense to Tommy. I just want to make sure somebody sticks up for Tommy here. Yeah. He may be a completely adequate rider. He just potty trained easier.
Anyway, first day he flipped the thing and rammed his head on the road.
He fell on his head.
And then of course that was the direct evidence and a story.
Didn't you get rid of it same day?
I had to give it to my sister to hold.
Yes, that's right.
That's what all white trash people do with their 4-wheelers.
Hold on to this till he's ready.
Till my boy's ready.
Okay, you want to feel better? My dad gave my BB gun to his twin brother to hold until I was old enough.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah, that's what you do at white trash Florida.
You don't get rid of it. You don't sell it. And you certainly don't take it back to Walmart or Kmart in my case. You hold on to it.
Anyway, so we'll end with this. Dreams are killed by reality. Bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. And guess what, guys? The fish tank has been fixed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sean from Top Shelf Aquatics, who he is, Butler called him the Jamaican sensation.
Yes.
Horribly racist. And then I had to apologize for that. We tipped him out, but Sean did a great job, cleaned our tank. He's a modern day hero. The tank I'm going to just switch to it real fast so you can see it. I'll go back to the tank. There's the tank. You can see it. Clear as day. Look how good it looks. Yeah. Oh.
All the fish survived.
Top shelf aquatics. Thank you. But we do have guests on the line.
Yeah, we were, certain they were all going to die.
Well, the chat room was. They're very negative.
Yeah.
And the chat room was like, they're all dead, you guys. Yeah. And then I actually did have somebody, I was going to save this for the Friday Free Show. I had somebody from Twitch contact us about animal abuse.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
I did.
No.
I did.
Are you serious?
I am.
So what'd they say?
They said, is this animal abuse?
Oh, okay.
Next question.
And I said, no, it's fine.
Okay.
Fine. They love it.
No,
that's what I said. It's fine. I said you don't don't understand fish. You're projecting how you feel onto the actual ocean creature. It's totally fine.
I did scream at Butler. I was like, quick, salt the toilet. Because I thought we were
Salt the toilet.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, somebody... Well, I'm not going to say that part. I'll save that one for Friday. But Sean may have left us a meatball in the toilet.
What would you say?
Are you sure that wasn't an urchin?
I didn't say which Sean.
So with us today to give us some positivity, I feel.
We definitely need some after the...
Also to give us the secret of how they look so young and beautiful.
They do look young and beautiful.
I think it must be happiness.
Well, I don't think they... that, and it doesn't appear that they have to drink themselves to close their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
Which we do.
No, but they party. I know them.
But not like we party. Their parties are fun.
Okay.
Adventurous. Our parties are sad, dark rooms with booze.
Because you could have 5 rum and cokes, but it depends on the setting.
If you have 5 rum and cokes with your beautiful wife and you're hang gliding through the, the Alps, that's terrific. But if you're sitting in an old podcast studio that smells like dead fish, drinking 5 rum and cokes.
By yourself in the dark.
With just you, Sean, and a meatball.
So with us today on Zoom, Jason and Jana Shelfer. How you guys doing?
Butchered their last name.
I
butchered their last name.
From the Jason and Jana show.
Jason and Jana Shelfer.
It's called Jana and Jason.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
You know, we had a fish tank for the longest time, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. It was one of the most expensive pieces of real estate that we've had.
We had...
Jason sounds like Jimmy Johnson on the show.
Yeah. I think we said that before.
I love your voice, man. I just want to hug you and tell me about the Cowboys.
Is that Jana?
No,
I have to tell you guys, I'm very, very nervous about having Jason do this interview with me because
with brain fog.
Yeah, not only does he have a little bit of brain fog yet because of his COVID that he had.
Oh, yeah.
But he just sometimes says things that are really absurd. So if he does that, I'm going to blame it on
This is the right show for him.
Oh, yeah. There's literally nothing you could say that's too absurd.
Yeah, that guy's a Tom and Dan guy.
Yeah.
That's what we do. In fact, we're the only show. This is a fun fact that I don't even know if you know, Jenna. We are the only show on Real Radio 104.1 that's bad. That's a fun fact. Nobody knows that.
Yeah. It's real bad.
Real bad. In fact, the original name of the show was Real Bad with Tom and Dan. But it was too close to Real Laughs.
Of your name and mix them up. That's what it spells. No.
We're so stupid we thought that.
I'm kicking him under the table. I promise you.
There it is. I see what you're saying,
Jana.
Jana.
That's my code to tell him to shut up.
So what are you guys getting into this week? What's the vibe?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you gave us such a nice positivity, happy introduction, but I've been fired up and pissed off today.
Uh-oh.
Okay. About
yeah.
what?
Outrage. What's going on?
You gonna storm the Capitol?
Is it Dr. Seuss? I made some memes about that one.
Yeah, I did too. What's next?
We got an insurance bill from the hospital.
Oh, yeah. I got one of those, too, from my husband.
Yeah. You know, who pays hospital bills?
Yeah. We've learned that.
It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I cannot.
Don't bring it up.
I know I cannot be trusted. I am the bad one. There, I said it.
Also, and this is very white trash of me, but I was raised thinking that you don't have to pay those. And I would, in my younger years, I would just go to the hospital because I was told by friends and family that it's free.
And look at you now. You got a business. You got your own home. You're fine.
Just go to the emergency room. In fact, I was told,
Jason, he did that when he was an intern, and he had a pustule. What did you have? You had a goiter.
Oh, because I smoked after I got my wisdom teeth out and they got infected.
Man, that is.
That's the most redneck thing you can do. And he got a goiter. I forgot about your goiter.
Smoking goiter.
He got a big goiter zit on his. The thing was huge, right?
Yeah. Now here's the problem, though.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
It only works when you're super poor because you got nothing for anybody
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
The only thing they can take is your goiter.
Yeah, and there's nothing to gain from anybody going after you for the money.
True.
And they know it. They see it in your name.
They just give up. Yeah.
They just all they have to do is one quick search, and they see there's nothing.
They basically know they're not getting anything when you're at the emergency room, but you have to step outside to smoke. That's how they know.
With your goiter.
They're like, that guy's never going to pay.
Or when they have to tell you to step outside to smoke.
Right.
But I want to hear more about the goiter. Did it have like pus in it?
You don't even understand it.
It had to drain.
I went. First I went there.
I'm sorry, I brought this.
I was smoking all weekend during my camping trip, birthday weekend.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was getting fevers, and then I was like, I was trying to drink through it because all my friends were like, "Just drink, you baby." You drink the fever out of you.
Put some vodka on it. It's swish.
And then I'm like, I got my neck's all swollen, and then
and it kept getting bigger, right?
And so I tried to drink past it and smoke past it, but that didn't work. And then Crystal finally told me you have to go back to the dentist that did this. I went back to him.
This is where it gets a little.
And then he was like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "You have to go to the emergency room now." He's like,
"What have I done?"
He's like, "This thing could kill you. If it gets too swollen." He's like, "Swelling around your neck is dangerous."
Who knew that?
So I go to
snakes have been doing that for years.
I go to the emergency room. They have to do surgery on my neck and drain. Then they put a tube in there and a Band-Aid to hide the tube.
Beer in it.
Pull him your zit. Where's your zit? Jason's got some real doozies going on.
Oh, no.
And because he's been on this steroid, his chest looks like he's got chicken pox. Like he's got.
Oh my God, he's got chicken pox.
Oh, he's got bro pimples. Like he got back knee.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
That's because you're making gains, bro. Get used to it. Hey, I get zits on my back all the time, but guess what? Guess who's dropping the biggest loads? This guy. This guy.
So I always wonder.
Question: don't you guys kind of get a little bit of pleasure out of squeezing your zits?
My wife does. I do not.
Yeah.
I married a good one.
I feel like that's a woman thing more than a man thing, right?
Yeah. I only squeeze one thing to get stuff out of it, and that's Tom for checks.
But seriously, if we were, because there's tons of YouTube videos that are just dedicated to that, right? Like squeezing pimples. Seriously,
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, there's social media accounts and stuff. I wonder if more female people, like females, follow those accounts than males, right?
Definitely.
Why is that?
We have a tendency to be babies when it comes to medical stuff. I think the stereotype would be that guys are not as.
I don't know. First of all, it makes me feel young. It makes me feel young when I get like a really big zit on my chin. And then when I get up close to the mirror and if I can squeeze it and something pops out, there's a sound involved and there's a sensory. And then if it splatters a little bit on the mirror, there's something very satisfying about it.
You guys came to the right show. We are definitely the splatter show.
I don't know what that is, but
my wife likes that.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are into that and are fascinated by that.
Are you a picker?
No.
I'm not a squeezer. Yeah, I'm a picker. I'm not a squeezer. My wife is a squeezer, so she likes the pimples. But unfortunately, if I get a scab, I have to actively tell myself to leave it alone. I have to tell myself
it has to go away because if you take that one off, the new one's smaller
and smoother. It's the roughness to me. I figured it out. It took me 40.
If you start it, God forbid, because it's got to go.
Oh yeah. If it's there and it's kind of Sorry if you're eating, everyone.
So, Jason, how much?
Then, Daniel, what do you do with your scabs?
You throw them on the floor.
I find like
well, he's right.
Scabs. Do you?
It's just like a book.
Yeah, you throw them on the floor, but
This is disgusting.
But they're like, I guess you're supposed to get up and go put it in the toilet or the toilet. Well, what are you going to put it in the tiny trash can? I can't put it in the bathroom trash can. It's already got my wife's pubes all in it.
Well, that's just for the real big, disgusting scabs.
Yeah, like the larger, like hospital issue style.
Yeah.
Home style is what they got.
So were they raking you over the coals with the old hospital bill over there?
Yes.
Well, the insurance company denied it, so it's like $27,000.
Oh, how'd they deny it? What do we even have insurance for?
Honestly,
you know what? I'm
it's
so
a
mad.
scam, I told you.
I'm so mad at insurance
Jana's
companies.
gonna have to sell her wheelchair.
And this is the same insurance company that it's been 3 years ago now. I needed a new wheelchair, and they came back and said, "No,
That's terrible.
you're not paralyzed. You don't really need a chair."
Oh, I thought you were really joking.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
They really did. And I spent an enormous amount of money trying to prove that I was paralyzed, and they just kept denying me.
That is crazy.
I thought you were joking, Jason. Jason goes, approve it. I thought he was just doing a wacky one-liner.
too.
No, he was just saying what the company said, or what the insurance company said.
How do you prove
And
that?
they still denied it.
You put
And they still denied it, to the point where I said, you know what, my time, I can't be spending all of my days and my frustration on the phone trying to prove to you that I can't walk and that I need this. You know, like I've got
My
better
goodness.
things to do with my life. And so I ended up just buying it out of pocket. And so now when we get this bill,
So now we just get frustrated with insurance companies, but we do find gratitude in things. It just sometimes takes us a little longer.
Les, there's no gratitude.
You're such a sweet person.
Hold on.
End it like that.
I wish
would never end it. I'd scream.
What? How could insurance companies? How is this a business where you could? It's like me telling my clients, they're like, "Hey, are you going to run those commercials?" And be like, "Those commercials are denied." I'm like, I paid for them. Like,
maybe we
denied.
should. If we tried this, I'd be able to buy Jana a wheelchair.
Or is it like,
I'd have a lot of money. I'd have tons of money. I'd buy you whatever you want.
but I pay for this service, and now I need it, and they're like, denied.
Damn.
How's this happening?
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Couldn't
allowed
they?
it.
Okay, hold on. Couldn't they just look through their records and see that you bought other wheelchairs? You're not just a
Right.
collector.
that's
Yeah, but
what I
they have to
said.
go back like 5 or 6 years or 7 years to see that. So that's a lot of records.
That's a lot of work. You're right.
You gotta send them a video of you holding a lighter to your toes. That's the only way to prove it.
the hell?
And who's gonna do that? You know what? And you're a professional woman, and you're not gonna do that. No woman should have to do that to get a damn wheelchair.
Yeah, so we've been dealing with that this morning. However, there may be hope.
All right.
Because about an hour ago,
I fired off a Twitter.
Whoa, that's how you get things done.
Oh yeah.
An angry
war.
An angry tweet.
The general doesn't like that. He gets mad if you start adding him in a tweet.
Yeah, they don't like it when you tweet to them and then you use
Put
like.
on me.
Did you hashtag them?
Oh, it doesn't work unless you hashtag
Oh
it.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
and take the high road.
Hashtag it, add it.
Take the high road,
That's an
honey.
@ sign with their name, everything on it.
Oh yeah. That's the way I do it. I burn it all down.
Do you guys have?
And then you got to put Oprah in there too.
Oh yeah.
Just so the audience expands.
And the funny thing is that Tom and I were worried about how dark your wheelchair would be. We were discussing
All right,
that.
like the royal family.
Sorry,
There's email.
I'm a stupid person.
So okay, let's
Is
talk
that
about
gunmetal?
this.
Metal? That's a little darker than standard steel.
So Jana and Jason, you guys are positive people, and you guys live your life with a certain vigor
Yeah,
and
they look
positivity
like they enjoy it.
and enjoyment, and that's kind of what your whole brand is about. And
It is.
so, but with that though, there are probably some downfalls with living a positive, truthful existence, because I bet you guys don't have the ability to just ignore that $27,000 bill every time it comes in the mail.
You mean the good people clause?
Yes. Yes.
Because dude, the good people clause sucks because it ruins your life.
Here's the way I'm looking at it. I'm realizing how important it is to have good insurance. So that's something we've been looking to transition. Maybe
get good insurance.
Does that even exist?
It all sucks and it's all expensive.
Yeah.
So good luck.
There you go. So that's one thing.
Sorry,
and
we're
also,
negative over here.
Power of negativity.
Yeah, you gotta understand the room, Jana.
And also, I sometimes feel that maybe for me, one of my big I think sometimes we all have a vice in our life. Like we all have that one obstacle where we have a hard time overcoming it. And for me, it's been value. Sometimes I don't realize my value that I can bring. And so this kind of lights a fire under my butt, you know, and it says, hey, Jana, it's time to start getting the abundance flowing in your life, because it kind of brings out this, I have to set my boundaries. This isn't going to stand. And it kind of brings out a fight. So sometimes when these things happen, you just got to find the lesson.
Yeah. And the boundaries thing is something we've been working on, or namely me and Sam have been working on with Tom.
Oh, yeah.
For a while now.
I hate boundaries.
It's really hard.
Also, what if you have too many vices? Like, you're literally Miami Vice.
Oh, my God, that's you. That's you.
Then there's just so many, they're crushing you
I
with the
actually
weight
prefer
of
to call you Vanilla Vice.
Too many vices, well, maybe then that's your lesson to focus. Maybe you're all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you just need to stop, be still.
And we have him on focusing medicine, Jana. But like it seems like
but that's become
take
another
more
vice.
Ritalin. Take more.
Oh, I'm taking
Yeah.
I mean, we are.
that just added to the vices crushing me.
Yeah, that's his number one vice.
Stop crushing it and just take it orally.
Oh, he butt chugs it.
See?
Where do you guys stand on butt chugging? Because I want to do that, but Tom's trying to talk me out of it. And I want to do it tomorrow on the Friday pre-show.
Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
you know
if
what?
you're going to do it, it needs to be on the show.
Our foreign exchange student was telling me about this. We had a foreign exchange student from Germany, and she was she tried all sorts of stuff. And she was telling me that you need to
Butt chug.
You must use vodka tablet.
The Germans.
And there's nothing like a good bong hit through the butt.
Yeah.
Freaky. No, okay, so Jana, Jason, so
she was a weirdo.
That's not positive. That's not positive, Jana.
That's
Look, we got her. We turned her.
Yeah.
And the worst thing she could say was actually not that bad. She said she was
cute.
a little weird. You're so sweet.
but it'll get
And
worse.
look up weird in the dictionary, because that's actually a compliment.
It is. Yeah. It means you're unique. You know, like you.
Well, yeah, like
the road less traveled, so to speak.
You know, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but usually German foreign exchange students that are willing to live in strangers' houses are probably weird. like maybe 90% of them are weird. You got 10% chance they're not weird. Anyway, so guys, how do you? Okay, seriously, because I feel like this could help a lot of people, because obviously Jason got COVID, had to go to the hospital, which is horrible. Then you get this huge hospital bill. And now, obviously, Jason, you're feeling better, right? Are you still dealing with any lingering effects?
Oh, yeah. So apparently I'm a long hauler. And that's so with the brain fog, the air getting to my lungs. So I take an inhaler a couple times a day, and I do it before I do anything like this, because I need to make sure I maintain the oxygen getting into my lungs, because that affects apparently everything you do, and you end up with exhaustion. And that's apparently going to be with me for about 3 months, maybe 4 months, but it's yet to be seen. They don't know everything about this, but it's a weird sickness.
So that
Samantha's
sucks.
husband's going through it too.
Yeah.
And so now, how do you look at the positive side of all this, or how do you, I guess,
It's been the best thing that's happened to us, and I'll tell you why.
Okay. All right.
it allowed us to slow down. For the last year, we've been going a million miles a minute. We've been trying to start our business, and we've been throwing a bunch of stuff out to see what sticks to the wall. These last 4 weeks, we've been able to really get still and hone in on our message, where we're going, which direction we want to go. So that's number one. Number two, what's number two?
Well,
oh my God.
But this
number
is a hard one.
Is that while he was in the hospital, I started exploring this app, which I told you guys about last time, Clubhouse.
Yes.
And on there, I've started speaking daily, which has allowed me to build a following. And it's been a really, really great place for me to meet people.
Nice.
This past week, this woman reached out to me named Vera Wang, and she asked me to moderate a room with her. And I was like,
don't know if you've heard of Vera Wang.
Yeah, I know Vera Wang, the designer.
I was like, yeah, I'll moderate a room with you, Vera Wang. Now, I thought she was the famous Vera Wang that makes wedding dresses for the rest of the world. So I showed up not knowing who the heck I was even moderating with. But it turned out that she's a businesswoman, and she has like this fashion industry, but it's not the Vera Wang. It's just
a Vera Wang.
Vera Wang.
That's crazy. Tom and I started. We just started advertising that hamburger joint, Jeffrey Epstein's Hamburgers. It's not the one though. It's a different. But these burgers are juicy and loaded with cheese. Oh man, they're good.
There you go.
Loaded with cheese, much older meat.
Yeah, it's a totally different person.
But from that, I moderated this 9-hour room where women from all over the world were coming in there for International Women's Day, and I was making so many contacts. Like, I feel like it's because he had COVID that we've been exploring other options. Just this morning, we got a phone call from a producer that actually has been seeing some of our content over on Clubhouse, which I wouldn't have explored if he didn't have COVID. And he is doing what is he doing? Some sort of pilot.
And he wants to focus on people that have built a business kind of over COVID.
Sure.
And
so there's
to feature us.
There's a synchronicity of things that have been happening, and I really feel that it all stems from Jason getting sick.
Now, how popular could we make you if we sacrifice more of Jason?
Yeah,
because maybe it's all about pushing him to the brink of death, like a Game of Thrones, almost like the Red Woman scenario. If we can push him almost to death, then you will be the king of the world.
So what I've heard when Jason
queen of the world.
When Jason was out of the picture, you were able to get a lot more done.
I holding you back.
I'm like stained panties on a date.
Oh, wait a minute! That just lets me know you're working in the fields. You know, like to me, it lets me know that you're active. You know, I'm like, all right,
that's the COVID talking.
Yeah,
that's that fog brain.
I think stained panties.
Never trust a skinny cook, Jason.
Oh gosh, no! I just really feel like I'm living lucky right now. I feel like all the right people are coming into my path at the right time. I feel like I'm showing up for myself, and I feel like things are happening. I feel like the universe, and I don't want to get too deep, but I do feel like the universe is conspiring for me and through me. So it's a good place to be.
And regardless, the thing that I learned here is that, like, no matter what, I mean, let's say you're a hey, these are my cards, and there's no way to change fate sort of a guy. Let's say you're that person. I mean, there is some sort of, to me, a calmness of kind of what you're saying, even if you're just kind of relaxing and taking it day by day, and in a weird way, kind of enjoying the uncomfortability. Then there's growth there in a weird way.
So, Jana, but how do you change the perspective? Because I'm hearing from you, it's like, all right, you're looking at it a different way, and that's all it is. Like, you're taking a situation, you're looking at the good, you're changing your perspective of it.
Well, it goes even beyond that, though, because to her it may be an asset. You know, they were spending more time together, so the pipeline of focusing their main idea into this, let's say, Clubhouse, I would say they wouldn't have had that had he not gotten sick. Is that what you're saying?
But,
it's like,
but that's all perspective.
In my life, the worst things that have ever happened to me, I'm realizing have actually been the best.
Yeah.
So becoming paralyzed, at the time I thought that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. 30 years later, I'm realizing, you know what? That's actually been one of the best parts of being me. Leaving Clear Channel and leaving my job at the time, I mean, I went through a really dark time.
Sure.
I thought that was the worst thing that happened to me at that time. I'm realizing it's actually one of the best because now I'm building my own brand and I'm becoming my own boss.
Tom tells me that every day, and I look at him, I go, I just still be getting that sweet radio money.
Leaving Clear Channel, I can get behind, but the paralyzed thing, it's a hard pill for me to swallow. Like, that's a hard one to look, but it shows you that the power of your perspective to look at it like that is a positive and
it makes me feel like you're completely in control.
Yeah, it's
empowering.
Of course.
I'm making the decision, like I'm changing the direction of my own thoughts. So, nothing is a negative to me because I'm in charge.
How does someone though that's listening to this, like myself, honestly, where
that's who you're talking about.
I think a lot of people are like me, where I claim to be a realist, but I tend to look at the bad part of the real. I mean, here's the thing, like, obviously, if, your husband gets COVID, goes to the hospital, you're switching your perspective and looking at the positive parts that come out of this, and then you're able to just focus on that and then be happy with it, right? Which is, things happen in your life, horrible things happen in your life all the time. It happens to everybody, right? But to be able to look at it positively is a power that I think a lot of people would love to have, because I don't know about anybody else, but I constantly are looking at things and probably skewing towards the negative, right? A lot. I'm like, this isn't good enough. This isn't, even this company, I'm like, we're not doing a good enough job. It could be better. It could be better.
You scream that in our faces.
They really take offense.
I mean, it's different.
I never look at the good parts.
It's different hearing him say, "This isn't good enough." Normally, it's like, it's like more like.
So if you've got a finite amount of attention that you can give any one thing, right? Then if you decide consciously, I want to look for the gratitude, or I want to look for what I'm missing or what I'm lacking. So if you're going to look for the gratitude, you're going to take some of that attention away from the negative or what you're wanting and missing, the lack side, and you're going to give it to the gratitude. So now this side of the equation gets bigger, and your subconscious starts eating that up and starts saying, well, if that's what Tom wants to focus on, I need to start looking for the gratitude in life and the good things in life. And then opportunities that were there the whole time that you just didn't see because you were like, we're not doing this right, we need to improve here, we're missing the boat here. Now you're going to start seeing the opportunities that were there the whole time, and you're going to be like, holy crap, look at this. This is amazing. Look at all this abundance. There's so much here for everyone. Let's start crushing it.
Oh my God! It sounded like a giant plane was flying.
Sorry, now we are the sneaky Germans.
That was my stuff coming out of my lungs from.
The sneaky Germans will drop their bombs on Jana's house.
So, okay, just like, what you guys are saying completely makes sense, but it's just like telling a person that is morbidly obese, all you have to do is eat right and exercise, and then like that.
That's what I tell them too.
But that person knows that. We all know that. But the difficulty is
doing it.
The doing it.
Well, try your method. Scream it at them.
So, maybe is it small at like little things at a time? Because I'm hearing from you guys
1% better.
Look at and maybe appreciate, like, say, if the light doesn't turn red and it's green and you get to work a little faster, like, look at that as like, hey, that's I'm glad that happened. That's lucky. You look at the good side instead of constantly.
Like our cruise got canceled, but without our cruise getting canceled, we would have never had the opportunity to work with the Front Yard Festival at Dr. Phillips.
Yeah.
It's like they would have never even wanted us there because they would have had like probably the largest. Well, first of all, there would have never been a Front Yard Festival. That would have never existed. Is that what you mean, Jana?
Yeah.
Am I doing it?
The first pillar that I think of living lucky is you have to show up for yourself. So you have to accept what is. What is. But if you can accept that you are in control of the bus, so you are only in control of the energy that you bring. You're not in control of the outcome. That's the shift. So for the person that is morbidly obese, they can show up for themselves. They can control what they eat. They can control how much they exercise. They can control their thoughts. You can control your attention. Those are the things that you are in control of.
And it might take small changes, because if you try to make big changes, and that's where a lot of people fail, is they try to make these huge changes that changes their whole ecosystem and really messes with their subconscious, because their subconscious says, hey, this is so big that I'm going to fight you on it. Like for me, I wasn't so super positive and all gratitude because I didn't necessarily buy into it. I didn't see the whole big picture until Jana had me start doing a gratitude journal. And it was something that was literally a task for me. It was, hey, Jason, you need to start writing down 5 things you're thankful for every day or grateful for every day. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then, all right, now add 2 things in the morning. So now my subconscious is like, okay, I got to go to sleep, and in the morning I'm going to have to do this again, so I better start thinking of things while I'm sleeping. And my subconscious now is always looking for things because she's like, you've repeated here. That's not.
And it's also, these gratitude journals are also a creative process because it may, you know this already, Tom, but one of the most successful guests to ever be on this program dedicates himself every morning and I believe night to a gratitude journal, and that's Preacher Lawson.
Really?
That dude is he's Mr. Meditation. He writes his goals down. He writes what he's thankful for. He writes down things that are meaningful to him. I'm sure he goes into way more detail about it, but yeah, he mentioned it a little bit when he was here when we zoomed him in.
Our thoughts become reality. Our thoughts become reality. Where we put our attention is where our life goes.
Everything that's ever been invented was a thought first.
So if
Tom doesn't believe that. He just so you know, I had the camera on you guys, but he shook his head and then he did the sign with the finger through the donut hole. I don't know what that part meant, but while you were talking, Jason, he was mocking you horribly.
And half this business, no thought put into it.
Oh man,
that's my half.
But you guys do bring up a good point, and the way I like to think about it is like why
do you put them at the end of our days? Because I'm kind of jazzed up right now and I'm
ready.
ready.
Are you feeling good?
I am, but I'm tired. Okay. It's the end of the day, so I'm just gonna go home and probably just play video games.
But I've been talking to everybody in the studio about ice baths and saunas and stuff, and I'm obsessed with somehow biohacking your body.
He wants to get up every morning at 6 a.m. and take an ice bath because he thinks the grit will make him a stronger and better human.
But this is kind of along the same lines of you're hacking your psyche, you're hacking your brain and your thoughts by forcing yourself to think and write down things you're grateful for. Therefore, you're always finding things you're grateful for. Therefore, changing.
Which is a great tool because it's a very negative world.
Now, Jason and Jana, follow me. If I want to phrase this a little differently than Tom said, and see if I'm if this fits your idea. He said, forcing your brain. I like to think that we automatically do think of these things, okay? The things that we want to share and share gratitude toward, right? I think of these things. The key is not just to change your phrasing. The key is to be present in the moment and give them a little bit more time. Does that make sense? Because I do think of these things. I just don't honor them. I never honor them. Yeah. I think of how much I love this job and how much I love the people I work with. And also, but I never give it enough time to truly honor it. It's fleeting, and I take it.
The bad things hold more weight, and that's another thing. How do you guys because bad things happen to everybody, and there's always bad things, but they tend to hold more weight than the good things. Like, I don't look at my 2 beautiful sons and wife and, the house we live in. I never, like, those things are great, but I look at, like, how the
house is not that great.
Once I tracked mud through the whole house, and I keep doing this.
That's the part I'm talking about.
I left my GD wallet in my truck unlocked last night again.
Oh, did they get it?
No, they didn't this time. But Crystal was like, "How do you keep doing this again? Like this is."
Did you tell her your special needs?
Yes, I finally.
Hey, Tom. Have you ever played poker?
Oh yeah.
And you think, I can't lose.
And
every time.
But I always lose.
You start betting a little bit more.
Oh, chasing. Yep.
And you just keep winning. And you just keep winning.
Never.
Has that ever happened to you?
No, but it's happened to me exactly like you're talking about, but just substitute losing with winning.
Yeah.
That's happened a lot. So much so that there's an actual problem.
Imagine getting into the winning loop. There's an energy.
Well, that's impossible.
Well, now
you're just a crazy person.
You have to be good at poker and not have a gambling addiction. So I think you have to be sober.
What I'm hearing from you is that you're more affected by the negative circumstances, so that's why they're holding the weight, right? Is that?
It seems like I dwell on them more than the positive.
I do.
I'm not like, oh, look how awesome I got it. Like, look how bad these things are.
What would be awesome is if I didn't.
And also only tell the bad stories to everybody around me.
Yeah.
Because if something bad happens, you have to deal with it. You have to figure it out, and then you have to fix it or handle it in some way, right? So imagine if you focused more on the good things and what's gonna be fruitful. And then those things started happening all the dang time, like just
constantly.
It's like there wasn't enough time in the day for bad crap to happen because all these other things, like sponsors are calling you saying, "Holy crap!" Now the other thing is so if this were to start happening, is that going to change your ecosystem so much?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be rich, jet ski crazy.
Well, that it's going to change everything. So is that acceptable?
Because that is where people have a problem, is they start getting into this, and then there's something in their subconscious that's like, wait a minute, I can't do this
all
because
my friends know me this way, and
this is too good to be true. That's a thought that a lot of people have, or money is evil. That's a thought that people have, and so then they block it. They block the abundance that starts coming their way.
Let me point something out that I love when we have Jana on, and now that we have Jana and Jason, I'm feeling it even more. The Twitch chat room has seized because you're making them all analyze their own lives, and they're sad. Oh my God, they're so sad.
I don't want to go there.
Oh, no, because their lives are terrible, and you're making them realize the error of their ways and how they wasted their lives. And
life is perfect.
I would be surprised if somebody killed himself.
That's part of it. And just so you guys know,
if you're breathing, your life is perfect exactly where you are.
Now, we have this one listener, his name's Norm, and his life is the worst.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, he's a chungus, and he can't help it, and he just...
he don't want to... home.
Yeah.
He's basketball shorts, commando.
Commando in his basketball shorts, just waiting to die.
Just watching us day after day.
Eating chicken cheesesteaks.
Yeah. Can't change anything.
Okay.
And you care enough about him to know all these things, so that's beautiful.
No, don't care.
I mean, we only use it. Yeah, I look at him as just another fiscal speed bump in my rock head. I can't even say that. You guys got me to break character. I was trying to be mean. Damn it.
Yeah, but I guess if people want to achieve what you guys have achieved,
it's the reps.
It's like everything else. It's just it takes work, and you got to start small and just build it, and just be dedicated to it. But it's hard.
Your homework is a gratitude journal. But let's start with just one thing.
Yeah, and
just one thing a day.
And can you guys remember when it flipped in your brain, and then all of a sudden, like, this is the way to live? I've changed it.
I remember.
Well, Jason has one memory. Mine kind of started happening gradually.
Gratitude, Julie.
But I started...
That's really good.
I started focusing on Actually, it was gratitude. It was gratitude journaling, and I started focusing on my brain. I started taking these memory classes. We went on a cruise, and I started connecting with all of these people on this cruise ship.
When we left, I'm walking out with her, and she said goodbye to about 150 people by name. Oh, and so I'm the one with her, and in my brain, I'm going, we look like freaks. We look like freaks because she's saying everyone's name, but not thinking, okay, well, no one else knows that she's saying everyone else's name. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's okay. And
Wait, Jason, can you tell the story, please? I find your voice to be far more pleasing to the masculine ears. Okay.
So, but Jana, that's your person.
Jason, tell us more about National Women's Day.
So, your
we
personality.
have different moments, but our point is that there was a time when things just started happening and they seemed a little too coincidental. And the more positivity that we started focusing on, the more we started noticing these synchronicities that started happening, the more they started happening. Now, the thing about all this is that when you just realize, okay, if you can find gratitude in the whatever happens in your life, then you start taking more risks and you start getting out of your own way because you're like, well, even if I fail, I'll learn something from it. And so that's another lesson in all of this, is that you're like, well, whatever happens, as long as I show up for myself, I'm going to learn from this, so I might as well just do it. Yeah. And then from that, more opportunities start coming in. So it's like you were talking about Norm. Norm is in what I call the doom loop. Yes. I've been there as
big
well.
Fat doom loop.
Yeah, he's in the poop loop and the
No.
What? The poop
loop.
He's all the loops.
He got diabetes.
And so somehow you just got to get that snowball moving in the other direction.
Norm is the biggest, fattest snowball I've ever seen. He's a large
big loop. Sorry.
And once you do, you'll be amazed because it just starts accumulating exponentially,
Building on itself. Yep.
No, it's awesome.
Oh, don't try and fix it now. You mocked it during the whole thing, and then you get to the end, you do the thing where you're like, oh, okay, guys, yeah, I'll be serious now. I promise, Jason. I promise, Jana.
No, it's true. Like, what you guys are saying makes complete sense to me because
But it makes you uncomfortable, and that's why you deflect.
Well, it's hard.
Does it? Does it make you uncomfortable?
It does, because what if I do what you say, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'm happy. I could have done this the whole time.
Oh, no.
But then I'm not again.
That's actually a really good question. And you're not going to believe this, but him saying that made me scared of it now.
Because if it's just as easy as thinking about it a different way, which I truly believe it is, because you guys are doing it, and I see other people do it. I see people that have way less, people in unfortunate situations that are happier than I am, and it constantly, I'm like, how could this be? So many bad things have happened to you, and like on paper, how are you that happy and positive? And they are, and and
it's authentic,
and
too.
it's authentic.
It's real.
It's not fake. And I'm like, man, that is magic. Like if only
no,
we all could live like
magic.
that.
You know what it is to me? It's control.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
but it's work. It's configuring your
control is important to me. I'm a bit of a control freak.
What?
It is that simple, and that makes a lot of people angry and upset, because when you make that decision, looking back, everything's very linear, and you can see, okay, this decision got me here, this decision and how I responded to this got me here. And when you look and you get very present, Daniel mentioned earlier is getting present in the moment. When you look at where you are currently and decide where you want to be, and you build a plan backwards and say, all right, well, if I just make this next small step and then build those next steps towards it, you may have to change your route a little bit, but you can get anywhere you want to go. And it's literally just deciding, do I want to go in a negative direction and keep focusing on the negative, or do I want to move in a positive direction and go towards the abundance and the growth?
Yeah.
And it's literally, it's a mind hack that says, do I want to be extremely happy and abundant, or do I want to just kind of be in my comfort zone of crap happens?
Yeah.
No,
that's an excellent place to end too, because that is like that ties a perfect little bow on it. I just don't know what to do with all this energy I have now.
Tell everybody. So you guys do a lot of stuff. Tell everybody where they can find you, how they can get involved. Everything.
Number one question is how people can watch you in the mornings if they want to join you in the AM, if they want to have a little chat. That's our number one chat room question is how do people join you in the AM?
Thank you. It's at Real Jana Shelfer, and we go live every morning at 6:50 a.m. We just have coffee and we connect. And we talk about anything and everything. I think this morning we were talking about Meghan Markle and the royals, which was kind of interesting. So we would love for you to join us and connect. And in fact, Tom and Dan and Sam, I don't know if you guys are in studio, if you're getting out and about yet, but when you do,
we're open, baby.
We would love to meet up with you and maybe have some Facebook Lives with you as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe even a YouTube adventure. That would be fun.
Okay.
I really like the idea of that 6:50 in the morning thing.
Early.
Tom's cooking a full breakfast at that time for his boys.
He'll be in his ice bag.
Can I drive your boat? Because that's really what I want to do.
You can do that. We can do it in the boat.
Oh my God, what's that mean?
I'll bring my wakeboard.
You don't need to bring it. Yeah, don't. Just don't. It's weird when people bring stuff. You know, like
I'm having a ski day. I'll bring my skis.
Built into yours.
I've got some trick skis too. I'll bring those.
We've got trick skis if you need those.
All right.
You don't have to pack anything if you don't want. We got tubes.
Jason pulled his groin.
I pulled my groin daily out there.
You know, Jim Colbert did that one time, except he pronounced it Gron. That is a legendary monster moment. Just ask Jim Colbert. He'll love it. Ask him about mispronouncing groin and calling it a Gron.
All right.
Only when you're with your wife.
Yeah. Oh.
Jana, Jason, thanks so much for coming on the show with us and teaching us something. We hopefully we'll do it next month too.
Yep. We love you guys. Be good.
Love you.
Hope you still have listeners.
Yep.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
That is Jana and Jason.
All right, we gotta go. Bye. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
On the line with us, she is going to tell us about all the new streaming shows she's been watching. Or
Are you trying to skip the song because you hate it?
No, okay.
Well, how dare you?
The worst intro.
It's the best, and you were trying to just like bulldoze right over it.
This is the worst.
Spending time on the radio. I really like the Tom and Dan show. Time to learn of what I'm missing. The next segment is a girl I'm kissing. ChriStreama, ChriStreama,
It's the same key.
ChriStreama, we love you on the Tom and Dan show.
ChriStreama's bit brought to you by the DeWitt Law Firm, justcallmurray.com.
Sweet.
All the money goes to us. Sorry, ChriStreama.
Wow.
But I do like that you're chiming in. I'm like, hey, Mo, we like. Hey. I like your little I like your little peanut gallery comments. How you been?
I've been better.
Oh no, what's happening?
Okay.
What happened?
I have to get surgery next week, so I've been kind of laid up. But
Lady
I've
business?
got a lot of streaming I've been doing. So
It's always that, right?
What?
That's why I said that.
Yeah.
Whenever a woman says, I got to
Lady
get surgery
business?
next week, it's always lady business.
Now, what?
yes, it is.
I'm telling you, I know
Don't talk about it.
female anatomy, man. Down
You do?
there, they're always getting this
What?
up, that down, this out, that in.
What's down there?
Sometimes you gotta put. Sometimes you put a little thing and it flies around.
They're gonna cut my vagina off.
No!
You can't even say it.
How do you do that?
I don't think you can. There's nothing there to cut.
Remember when Tom got his thing done? He always said he was gonna cut his D. They were gonna cut his D off. So they're cutting my.
They did cut his deal.
There we go. That's it. You should see it. It's real bad. We hope you get through that all right.
What do you say to somebody who's
thank you.
getting that done?
I don't know.
What do you say?
Nothing.
Yeah,
you guys just make me laugh, and that helps me.
Well, that's not going to help you. It'll blow a stitch out.
Yeah. You shouldn't laugh.
Yeah, don't. There's no.
Oh, no.
Okay, you're not allowed to listen to the show while you've got stitches down there.
No.
Or just listen on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Wow.
I don't know. They're all horrible. I'm joking. So, ChriStreama, what do we got for today?
Okay, so I have a movie that I don't know if y'all have seen or not. It's kind of a low budget kind of deal.
Love it.
And then I've got 2 new streaming services that you may or may not have, and they're actually both kind of geared towards Andrea. I think she'll really like them.
All right.
Nerd.
The movie, have you guys ever watched Strange Wilderness with Steve Zahn?
Yes.
No.
Great
What is
movie.
it?
Oh my gosh. You gotta get tuned and watch it.
Yeah, it's
like
great.
at least the first part.
It's for sure like a stoner style movie.
Oh, it's called Strange Wilderness?
Yeah, it came out in 2008.
And
Yeah, it's really funny.
Steve Zahn, Justin Long.
what is it?
It's a movie about a guy that his father had a life or like an animal show on TV, and then his father passed away, so the son takes over, but he's like a total
Marty
stoner.
Stouffer. What was it, Wild America? Kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like sort of a mocking of him.
But it's a comedy, but yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like
it's not a great movie? Like it
It's
doesn't.
good.
But it's good. Like it's one of those movies that you've got these great comedic little parts to it. Like in one part, Justin Long. I don't know. I just find him really funny in this movie. Like he's. I don't want to give it away.
I will definitely check it out. It seems that the chat room, Samantha, yourself, everybody seems to say underrated, underappreciated.
I feel like a lot of people didn't hear about it, but when it came out, but it's really funny.
It's funny because I normally know of all movies. I'm not a movie guy, but there's very few things that like people say it to me, and I'm like, I've never heard of that. You know, like I've never heard of this.
What streaming service?
You will love it. I just bought it on Apple TV, but it might be streaming somewhere for all I know. But it's a very
You're
under the radar.
You're supposed to know.
No. I like the fact that she's like.
It looks like it might be on Amazon Prime, so I'd check that.
I like the fact that she's giving.
I'm underpaid, Sam.
Yeah,
all right.
Misinformation.
I will say it did only get a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes, 2%.
But it's funny.
Yeah, but Tom is dedicated to Rotten Tomatoes. He says he lives by it. He says if they hit it 2, it's a 2.
Well, it's the knowledge of crowds. I mean,
hive intelligence.
Again,
we know.
I don't think a lot of people watched it.
Ernest Borgnine is in it.
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine.
Who the hell is Ernest Borgnine?
He's that cute old man, Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah, Ernest. His name is Ernest Borgnine, and he was the secondary fighter. He was a secondary fighter pilot in What was that show? Airwolf. Yes, with Jan Michael Vincent.
Okay,
it was a
he's
mess.
wonderful, and his nephew is played by Justin Long, and Justin Long just like smokes his bong all the time.
Justin Long just smokes his bong.
All right.
Jonah Hill's in it.
Can go to hell.
And Steve Zahn. So anyway, I want you guys to check that out when you're tutored. I think you'd like it. Okay, so there's 2 new apps that we got. One is called Discovery Plus, and it's only $4.99 a month.
I heard it's good.
And it is really awesome. Like, if you like true crime documentaries or any kind of paranormal stuff, which I'm a nerd, I like the paranormal shows, like a haunting, stuff like that.
Okay.
You can watch that. So I think Andrea would really enjoy that one.
All right.
And then on Stars, they have all of the period dramas that Andrea likes.
Like Bridgerton style stuff?
Yes.
Now
they have one I've been watching called the White Princess.
All right.
Okay.
Not as inclusive.
Not as so it's definitely not about Meghan Markle.
Now, oddly enough, because our internet is down, my wife is here, and ChriStreama is joining us, and she's telling us
about the White Princess on Stars.
Some shows that she says that you would really, really like. You've been watching, and I've been dabbling in All Creatures Great and Small.
All Creatures Great and Small. It's on PBS.
It's good if you like animals and animal stories, but it's not just that.
No.
It's about a veterinarian, right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean it's based off of books and everything.
It's a good ass show.
It's nice and wholesome.
Yeah, it's good.
If you like that kind of period drama, and I mean it doesn't get so drama-y.
It's not gross about animals. It's not like animal cruelty. It's actually like they're doing good things. Your wife actually might like it. It's good.
So where is that on again?
That is on.
Where can I see that?
That is on PBS. I think you have to have PBS Passport streaming service, but
that's the one.
Writing that down.
Yeah.
PBS Passport streaming service. Everyone has their streaming service.
It's about a spider veterinarian. What is this?
No, just a regular veterinarian.
But he works on big creatures, big and small.
He works on everything.
All creatures.
He did a racehorse. That's the latest one. Is he did a racehorse, and then it's a really expensive racehorse, and you can only imagine the gambling and the money implications, and the fight of the morality of keep it alive or put it to sleep.
Yeah. Well. And then there's what's the smallest animal he works on? Like
ant.
It's a ant. Yeah. It's just like some gerbil or something.
Moth. He works on a moth.
The veterinarians that take their time to like try to fix some sort of hamster or some rodent. I'm just like, come on.
But you have to think about this was a veterinarian in England, like in the hills of England back in the 1920s, 30s, 40s. So he's like the only guy.
And he's training other guys. So a lot.
It's not like right nowadays.
It's almost like he's the most rare. Like he has the weirdest job of anybody in the world because he's a big animal veterinarian in a time when animals don't matter.
Yeah, I was about to say
it's the worst job ever.
You must have been the crazy person.
They put it in the show.
They're like, why are you even?
That's in the show.
Even humans that are like this guy. He doesn't have riches.
It's in the show. Your wife would probably like that part because he has more. He fights with rich people because they think he's basically him wanting to save the animals. He might as well be gay.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's like you're an effeminate weirdo if you want to save all creatures.
Yeah, because to them it's pointless.
Instead of just being a good human being. Right.
So, ChriStreama, you said Discovery Plus. Is this owned by someone?
Discovery Channel.
I don't know.
It's
the baby.
Okay. The Discoveries.
Hold on a second. I like the fact that you bailed on your bit. You do no research. You don't know where to say. And then Tom said something to you, and you clap back at him. You're my favorite.
So it's Discovery Channel,
right? It's all of their partners. Yeah. So like HGTV, all of that stuff is under the Discovery umbrella.
Food Network, TLC, ID, all of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of food shows. My husband loves the food competitions. That's his favorite thing.
All of the wholesome.
So he watches that.
I like food competitions too. I like it when they go wrong. And the one thing about MasterChef Juniors, man, I can get down on watching some kids get so much pressure they crack and cry.
I like Kids Chopped.
Yeah, Kids Chopped is good.
Can I ask her, has she dabbled?
No. Oh. Yes, Tom.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. I've always wanted to do
I wanted to know if she's dabbled into the new Paramount Plus or Paramount
I only want to get that because of the OG Real World.
That's what I told him.
That's the only reason I want it.
Oh, God. There's too much. There's too many titties in here. This place sucks now.
So Paramount launched their streaming service this week, and they bring back everybody from Real World New York.
Even Pedro.
Season 1.
No, Pedro was San Francisco, and he's dead.
Oh.
I'm so happy you told me that. Because I'm gonna be laid up for like
He's dead,
2 weeks.
Christopher.
I'm gonna watch the shit out of that.
Can't say that, Christina.
She's a loose cannon today. You're not wearing a top, are you?
I'm on pain pills.
They give you pain pills before the surgery?
Yes.
All right. That's my kind of doctor. They're like, you will eventually feel pain. Here's some pills.
Hey, you must have got a Dr. Florida. I know him.
Yeah.
He's going to grab
down. But yeah, I wanted to tell Andrea, there's this awesome show on Stars, and I started watching it, and it's this actress, I don't know her name, I'm sorry, I don't remember, but it's called The White Princess, and she was in a show called Killing Eve, and she was the assassin girl. She's fantastic, and she plays the Princess of York, and she's forced to marry King Henry so that they can like regain the kingdom together. and it is really, really good. And I normally don't like that kind of stuff, but after Bridgerton, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like this. and it's part of a book series.
And it's only a mini-series, so I don't have to, like, invest, like, lots of time.
No.
You're not investing a lot of time in closing your legs right now, baby. Tom can see your entire...
I think Andrea...
I saw Tom looking at your Dave Matthews.
No, I didn't. Put a pillow over it.
Don't put a pillow over it. Let that thing... We're open, baby!
No, stop!
Here's the perfect time to use it.
So...
And Tom gave me a high five through his eyes. I saw it.
Let's go to the high five. So...
you guys are doing... pie brownies or something today too.
We recorded too much. Yeah,
we're 2 months ahead.
We're just having a good time. Jeez Louise.
So
I have those too. My mother-in-law gave me some pie brownies.
Well,
to help me feel better.
Where do you live, ChriStreama? Here, right? Florida?
No.
Oh.
No, I live in Yukon, Oklahoma.
Oh God.
Why'd you say that?
Oklahoma.
We just had like a horrible. Did you guys hear on the news like all that Arctic stuff that happened? We just got hit hard.
You got a blizzard going on?
The old Arctic stuff.
It was bad.
Did you have the ice fan? Because I was like, oh man,
we had the ice fan bad.
Yeah.
We got the ice fan.
I tell you right now, I walk into our house and we got an ice fan. It's Cancun crazy in the Dennis household. I don't care who knows. We're going.
You guys are crazy.
The only kind of blizzard I like is a DQ.
Yeah, that's just gonna say dude.
Andrea's doing her ice cream stand-up.
I love it.
Oh, great.
I love a blizzard
What is
too,
it?
like that.
Is it a waffle cone? Waffle cone. What is it? Is it a waffle or is it a cone?
Let's talk about stars. They've got to be out of business soon, right? There's no
They
one.
got that app now. Everyone's got an app.
Dude,
So
they have so many shows that Andrew would like. They have so many period dramas on there. Like, you wouldn't believe it.
It's
They have so many. And I thought of her right away because I was, like, watching it. And I'm like, this is, like, chock full of wonderful shows. Like, and that White Princess is part of a 3-part thing.
My wife started
the guy
reading.
wrote a book about it.
I was going to save this for the Friday Free Show, but it doesn't matter. We were already talking about her, and she's here. My wife started reading young adult books.
yeah.
You can come back in here and try and defend yourself.
What
but
does
there's
that
no
mean?
Like
Oh,
a
those are
Divergent
great.
series?
Yeah, my wife is reading like baby
good.
like baby books. Like
They're not baby books at all.
They're not.
my wife is
They're
reading
good.
like
I'm reading the selection series, and it is
they're like for 15 and 16-year-old
Oh, my
girls.
God.
They're supposed
No.
to read that in order to ease their cramps while they're becoming young mothers
There's
in the
just
village.
not like
Oh, my God.
there's just not like
You're easing your
graphical
cramps?
sex scenes in it. That's
Yeah,
why they're considered
She's
white
reading
adult.
these books that are clearly made for young women to ease their cramps and ease their way into village life.
At least I'm reading.
Or maybe it'll get her horny for her first love.
No,
and
there's
she'll
no
want you
sex
again.
in it. That's the thing. It's a baby book.
Hold on. What are these? Are like the Hunger Games, like that
It's
kind
like
of thing?
Hunger Games mixed with Royal Family mixed with The Bachelor.
Yeah, with no boobs and no wiener.
Okay,
So nothing good.
but this is for
Why
teens.
do y'all have to have
Young
boobs
adults.
and wieners?
Because
Why
the
can't you
only thing, I don't know if you know this, but you might want to wise up, but the only thing we're fighting for in this life are boobs and wieners. So you might as well strap on your gear and get in the war, or you're going to be left behind, and I'm starting to not care.
Well, we can have wieners whenever we want,
That's true.
so
yeah.
we don't really need to strap up for war.
You win.
Is the like stars? Are they focusing on just like old timey shows or like period pieces? I can't say it without laughing.
No, it's like I haven't
movies and
explored
stuff,
it that
too.
much, but they got all kinds of movies. Yeah, like Sam said, they got movies. I've been watching a lot of Joe Bob still because I've been kind
still on the
of
Joe Bob.
holed up
That's
on
a
the house.
good
What is that?
show. The Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching a movie, like especially if my husband's not watching it with me. It's fun to have that old school like interruption in the movie, and he talks about it. And like the other day, I watched Sleepaway Camp, and I didn't realize that the lady that was in Sleepaway Camp, the girl, she married the lead singer for CKY, and he actually married her because he was like obsessed with her and had her picture on his guitar and everything and got her tattooed on him. And they spent one night together, and then they got married. And they've been together for 15 years.
And that's
weird.
Now, that movie's where Fort Airwalk got their name.
Yeah, and both of those, all that true, and you would have never known that had you not been watching Joe Bob Briggs.
No, yeah, he's so informative.
And he does like kind of those like campy slasher or sci-fi styled old school late night movie show. And he's kind of a wealth of knowledge and a bit of a historian. And then he has an ex-porn star, I forget her name. She's on there.
Darcy.
That's
her name's, I forget her porn. I did look up her porn, though.
Yeah,
she's very good.
She's a porn star. She's very good, very attractive. And you know what? She's a wealth of knowledge, too. Like, she's a nerd.
She is.
And she has
is
a
total
ton.
nerd.
Well, beyond a porn star, I mean, that's like being a sex worker. That's that was her, I guess, day job. But beyond that, she's a con and a, what do you call that? Cosplay gal. And also has a pretty huge collection of sci-fi stuff, and she has a lot of knowledge about it. So you put those two together, and you get a pretty decent show. It's a good show.
Oh, yeah. I've kind of contemplated if they're, like, doing it.
Oh, it's Diana Prince.
Like, they have great... Diana Prince, that's it, yeah.
Which is
they have
Wonder
very
Woman's
good
real
chemistry.
name.
Yeah, so I've been going back and rewatching. Like, I watched an old movie called Tourist Trap. You guys ever heard of that?
No.
It's a great old movie. It's like these kids, they go on a road trip and the car breaks down, and then they come into this old travel stop, and it's all these mannequins, and the mannequins are like coming to life, and it sounds cheesy, but it's a really good movie.
Let's go back
But there's no boobs in it. There's no boobs. Like, he always rates at the beginning, like, how many boobs, and he was like, that's the only reason I gave it half a star, is because there's no boobs.
So the lead singer of CKY, that's not Jess Majera.
He's the drummer.
He's a drummer. So I don't even know the lead singer's name. But so that guy
Darren Miller
was obsessed with an actress that he saw, and then
in Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, her name's Felissa Rose.
And he was out, like he got a certain amount of fame, so people knew. Obviously, CKY the band is big, and like back in the '90s with CKY videos and stuff, and a lot of young skateboarders and things. People like myself knew the band, so he has a following. So a lot of people knew he was obsessed with this actress, got a tattoo of her, and then was able to meet her, and they fell in love in 15 years of marriage?
Yes.
That's weird,
That's
right?
exactly what happened. It's really weird. It's like a love. Once again, romance. Here we go.
I'm sorry, it's fighting a fly over here that's really big.
That only happens one way, right? If it was the opposite, probably not going to happen. Like if there was a famous woman that was obsessed with a man, you never hear the others.
It's super rare. Like I don't think that would normally ever happen.
The only I think of like what's his name? Didn't pay his taxes. Horrible movies. Nicolas Cage.
Okay,
he was obsessed with Elvis
Presley, Lisa Marie Presley marriage,
and then that's the only other example I think of. Like this guy was obsessed with Elvis, and then obsessed with her, and ended up marrying her. I just never hear it the other way around.
She's got problems, right? Like, she's weird, right? Like,
I think she's gotten help since her drug days.
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's a little mystery to me.
Lisa Marie.
And I mean, the whole Michael Jackson marriage and everything.
I'm sure it's happened. I don't want maybe a lot of people don't talk about it.
I think back to that. It's like the best time of my life when Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie were married.
But think about it, as all of us, right? You find out someone is obsessed with you, right? And it kind of, ChriStreama can even be put on this because like she's on the show and there's some...
She's famous.
So if, say all of us are single too, obviously hard to imagine. But
here we go. Fantasyland.
But I
like this. You're setting me up to do some bad stuff.
You hear about another person of... I guess equal fame. I guess they were both around the same famous, whatever. But they're obsessed with you to the point where they have tattoos of you. They talk about you. Their fan base knows.
That'd be kind of weird. And if you met somebody that had a tattoo of you before you ever met them.
That's what I'm saying.
That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah. Wouldn't you be put off by
a little bit?
that?
I think.
How can it be a natural connection when one person's so obsessed with you already before they even know you? Right? It's weird.
I think Felissa Rose is a little bit off the rocker. She's a little crazy, like in a good way. So I think that's why, because she had already known about him. She knew that he like was obsessed with her and obsessed with the movie. Because I believe the band CKY was based on Camp Kill Yourself, and they loved the movie, or the front man loved the movie so much. Have you guys seen that one, Sleepaway Camp?
I have not.
No.
Nor have I seen Return to Sleepaway Camp. I've never seen Satan's Playground.
Oh my God!
And by the way,
Sleepaway Camp is you have to get that under your belt. You have to see it.
All right.
Crazy in a good way just means you're not in jail. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they've been together for 15 years. She's a good-looking gal.
They have 3 kids together.
Yeah, it's weird.
And it seems like they work on their own movies.
Yeah, they did a movie together.
It seems like maybe the love for this type of film.
Yeah.
The power of that connection brought them together, and it worked out.
Well, but what I'm curious about is just like that first meeting of like, you know, this guy is obsessed with you, has a tattoo of you. Like, it's hard for me to imagine breaking through a barrier of that weirdness, right? Where you're like, and then vice versa.
You were uncomfortable to say anything, so you would just let it ride.
Well, but vice versa, even him, like he's obsessed. He doesn't even know this person. He's obsessed with what he believes she is, right? Like, and maybe she.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, wait till you see the movie, and then you'll think it's even more weird. Because there's a huge twist. And I'm not going to give it away.
Well,
I'm not.
I'm talking about real life, ChriStreama. You're high on pain pills.
Yeah,
I think we're talking about 2 different things.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm bouncing in and out of reality myself because I'm kind of understanding what she's saying, but then I don't know what she's referencing here
in real life. Anyway, is that the final stream you want to talk about?
Yeah, I guess. I just wanted to tell Andrea about the stars thing. I think she'd like it.
Okay. I think she wrote it down, so you're good.
Wrote it down. When does WandaVision get better? Because I'm now.
When they cancel it.
I'm hitting episode 3, and I'm like, I'm waiting, baby. And it's still.
You fell for it.
Well,
you fell for the biggest nerd.
I think you got to get to like episode 5.
All the nerds
what are you
just
talking about?
Nothing is going to pay off enough for you because you're not a nerd.
Oh, Norm says episode 4, WandaVision gets better.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what they told me about episode 3, Norm. And I got duped in by Juan Gonzalez. And
first and last is too far.
And he said, you just got to wait. He's like,
no, he told you to watch WandaVision.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, the episodes we watched, they're like, oh, no, those are the bad ones. You're just going to wait till the next one. And we went to 3 last night, and we're like... Still not there yet.
In your opinion, as a new WandaVision viewer, did it take 3 episodes to tell the story of what they needed to tell?
No. They could have
done it in half an episode. They could have done the old black and white I Love Lucy, hey, we're trapped in the decades, or whatever they're doing.
Well, here's how I know you got it wrong. When all the nerds that love this tell me, no, the first 2 episodes are bad.
Yeah.
Wait, you gotta wait. Well, you got it wrong. They should all be good. Anyway. Sorry, ChriStreama. You got anything to plug?
No, just good vibes for my surgery next week. And I would really like you guys to check out Strange Wilderness. I think you would crack up.
Okay,
nice.
I will definitely do that as homework. And then the next time we talk, we'll check in with you. And good luck with your surgery. We know you won't need it. You'll be fine, and we will check in on you, okay?
All right, thank you guys. Love y'all.
All right, we love you too. You take care of yourself.
See ya.
Be good.
I wish I was the type of person
sad at the end. I want to give her a hug.
That believed that vibes or anything like that did anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I actually believed if enough people wish me good vibes, that it would change the outcome of the future.
Kind of goes back to Jason and Jana we were talking to.
Yeah, because all you do is, it doesn't matter.
No, it's your mindset.
Yeah.
If they give you good vibes, you're supposed to take those good vibes into your brain and just kind of change your way of thinking. I don't necessarily think it's...
Because if you think of logically, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. No matter what. It's you're not in control of it. But if you think that the good vibes are going to make it positive, you might as well think that, right?
Right. Yes.
It's so hard because I'm like vibes and none of them.
I don't even like any vibes. I like to
what is vibes? You're not doing nothing.
I'll tell you what I like to do. I like to take enough drugs where I don't feel any. I'm like, there's no vibes left. Yeah. I was like, do you feel anything? No. I was like, there are absolutely 0 vibes right now. I was like, this is the way I like to be. I like to smoke so much that I'm sitting there. My wife's like, hello, and I'm like, what? Who's that? Who's saying that? I hear a vibe.
There should be no vibes.
Yeah, no vibes, bro.
I hate vibes.
I hate all the vibes.
All right, bye-bye.